Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 15 Good Minutes. Coach B here. Freddie, what's up, my guy?
Much how you guys doing?
Doing good, man. LB, what's happening?
It's cold, man. It's cold.
It's cold, and just so you guys know, the audience, we were just talking before we came on air about tooth extractions and not crowns, but putting things in to get a new
Anchors, new teeth.
anchors and stuff. And I had an extraction today. LB had one a few months ago. Freddie's just telling us just to gum it. Don't don't get it. You don't get any of it fixed. So right now, Freddie is he's the baby of the group, so he can talk all the shit he wants.
Yeah.
Young fella.
I'm gonna live long enough to hear him go. Man, my tooth. I had to get the tooth taken out.
And all that. Just give me a bucket of pudding and I'm good.
Yeah, straight pudding. It's like, well, no kidding. All I'm eating today is scrambled eggs and grits all day. So, um, I don't know where Charles is. He may or may not join. No big deal if he can't. We'll catch him next week. What I wanted to talk about today is what I call it Championship Sunday. Freddie's used to it. We talk about it all the time. For me, it's the equivalent, I think, of two Super Bowls when you have four teams vying for two spots. It's like the Final Four. And we've come up on that now in the NFL. So I want to get the guys' opinion. On how some of these guys got here, what they thought about this divisional round that just ended, and then give me some favorites for this weekend. So I'm gonna, the first game I'm gonna bring up, and I'm gonna toss to you first, Freddie, is New England at Denver, and I saw Sean Payton trying to downplay the broken ankle or whatever it is that the quarterback has. Is that are they toast? You know what I mean? I want to give them a shot, but I mean, how critical is it that they lose their quarterback and they have some guy that I think hasn't played in I don't know how many hundred
23,
days?
2023.
Hey, is that going to be the difference maker for Denver, New England, in your opinion?
Definitely. I mean, put it like this. Denver, I'm sorry, New England, they're the second seed. They have actually they probably are going to have the easiest path ever to the Super Bowl. So that statement just encapsulates who I think is going to win, right?
Mhm.
You beat the Chargers, a lifeless Chargers offense, what, 16-3,
And
right?
what happened here with Houston?
And then with Houston, and then now you're playing the number one seed without its quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, I think I mean, hats off to New England, but I don't think Jarrett Stidham has a shot.
So LB, when you look at that, does Denver have a shot, or is it pretty much just a an exercise in futility?
Well, I like to think they have a shot. I like to think that, but I didn't realize Freddie just said that he played for them. Because my thought process was, well, he's a guy off the, backup or whatever. There's no book on him. They don't know what his tendencies are. He might have early on, at least he might have an advantage because nobody knows, who he is and what he's good at and what he's not good at. But if he played for them a couple of years ago, then that kills that theory.
Because he don't play for him no more.
So yeah, and I mean, it sucks for Denver and Knicks to go out that way. But shit happens.
Yeah,
Now, I will say they do got a shot, Denver. They do have a shot because their defense
yeah.
is good enough to give them a shot. But New England's defense is pretty good too.
Okay.
But
Right.
go back to that one for a second, Freddie. That's kind of where I was looking. Is like, okay, Denver's defense is legit, and I don't think a whole lot of New England's offense. Now, I think they did what they were supposed to on the weekend because I just thought that Houston, Houston to me, the amount of turnovers that Houston made, the same amount that Buffalo made the day before. I don't think you can get to this level in Pee Wee football in the championship, make that amount of significant turnovers and be good. So I kind of wondered when I was watching Houston struggle if it just made New England look better. So I do think that the defense of Denver is going to test. I'll say test.
I have a question. So I didn't see any of the games this weekend, but if when I look at the score of the Broncos and the Bills game, they beat them 33-30, and you saying that the Broncos got a good defense, but they just gave up 30 points to Buffalo. So
And
where?
Buffalo had, I lost count, LB. I'm gonna say five, maybe six critical turnovers.
Oh, did they?
I think it was about four, something like that. They had a lot of
Four picks and a fumble or
eh,
something.
two
Okay.
fumbles, and it may have been 4 or 5. Yeah, but they got Josh
That's a
Allen.
fair point, LB.
Yeah.
And me, I'm not one to question the officials, man, but there was a call in that game where I just thought the dude caught the ball, man. And
Hmm.
I want to say Buffalo was within a score of winning at
Hmm.
that point. And then I saw the same play, LB, in two other games after, and the officials got it right. You know what I'm talking about. Receiver catch it, DB gets it, they go down, they roll around, DB comes out with the ball.
Hmm.
And I just, even when it happened, Freddie, I just said, "Oh, that's yeah." They turned that over, and then they didn't.
Uh,
Um, yeah. So that could have easily, to your point, LB,
hmm.
that could have went that could
The
have
other
went
way. Okay.
Buffalo's way. Um, I think Buffalo had a lot to do with putting themselves in that position. Anyway, where you just don't want the official to have to change it. Um, but we talked about this, LB, or you did specifically about these teams that we've seen here year after year after year after year. And will they all be out? And Buffalo was the last of those
That's
teams that
that.
you mentioned,
Hmm.
and now they're out. Staying with you, LB, and switching to the NFC. Um, the Rams are going to Seattle. Uh, whew, who do you like and why?
I'm going for the Seahawks just because I like that city better than LA.
Of course, that's sound logic. That is why am I not surprised, Freddie?
Great analysis, awesome analysis.
Yeah, I thought maybe he
Hey,
was
you
gonna
gotta
go
hang
with
your hat on
maybe.
something, man.
Seattle's playing well, but for me, I still have LA, with a shot. I think they just do enough to win. Now, obviously, they're gonna have to play better than they did in the divisional round,
Hmm.
and I think they have the MVP. Freddie, who do you have winning that game and why?
I have the Rams winning. I think their offense is overall more complete. I think their offense is overall more complete and consistent than Seattle's offense is, right? Seattle's offense, if you watch Seattle enough this year and if you played fantasy football, they only got one guy that you got to worry about, Jackson Smith and Jigba, right?
He's significant.
That's the only guy, right? Now recently they've been getting it going with their running game.
Hmm.
They've been running the ball well, but you played San Francisco, who couldn't stop a nosebleed, right? Um, they couldn't stop anyone. Not to mention, I think their backup, I think Seattle's backup running back, I think his name's Charbonnet. I think he's torn his ACL or something, so
Ouch.
he's out. I think he tore it this past week. Um, Seattle, of course, now their defense from their entire defense is phenomenal. The only thing I don't really trust about the Rams is their secondary can be suspect. Their front end, their linebackers and the D line is legit, but if they don't get home, that secondary can get got. And when you got Jack Smith and Jigba, it's one of
Gone.
those things.
To your point, Freddie, they did
Uh,
split, yes?
Yeah, they did split. Yes,
they did split. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I think that makes it interesting. I like
close
it.
splits, close
Huh?
splits at that, close splits at that.
Yeah, I went overtime. If you had 1 point
Yeah,
victory, you
yeah.
had to go to OT. So that could prove. And again, I know it's an overused sentiment, and people say it all the time, but I think this past weekend bears it out. The team that doesn't turn the ball over has a better
Normally
chance of
wins.
winning.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, man. I'm looking forward to it. LB talked about it at the opening. At least here, it's going to be cold this weekend. Looks like we got a little some inclement weather coming in, so this is a good time to watch. Championships. It's I don't really have anyone in either one of these games, kind of like ULB, but I'd hope they're competitive. If they're like the one that Freddie just talked about, it doesn't have to be an overtime game, but the way the Chicago game ended, quite surprising. You even with all the mistakes. I mean, I call it a Hail Mary. I don't know what that thing was that Williams threw, but damn, it was a dart and it was on point and he got a touchdown. It was exciting, but they lived like that all year long. So eventually it kind of came back,
Oh,
kind of bit them. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Before we check out, let me see if the fellas got something to say. LB, I'm starting with you, man. What you got to say today?
All right, real quick. So I went to New York this weekend. We went to see a couple plays. We saw Hell's Kitchen, highly recommend it. And we saw Porgy and Bess at the Metropolitan Opera. My first time going to the Met, first time seeing a real opera. Went went in there, went to the bar, ordered drinks. I ordered Grey Goose and cranberry. I ordered a glass of wine. All right. Keep those
Okay.
things in mind. The bartender says you can pre-order a drink at the break now. So, and then when you come down, it'll already be ready. Right.
Intermission. Yeah.
I'm like, cool, done deal. Well, I said, he said it's an extra $25. I'm like, fine.
Damn.
Well, hold on. $25. I'm at the Met. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Sign me up. Hand my credit card. What was the grand total of my bill for the three drinks?
$100.
175.
$100.
$158 for three drinks. Yes. $158.92 to be exact for the three drinks, including the $25 premium to have it ready when I came down at the intermission.
So much for going to the Met.
Yes.
I
Yes.
nah,
Do
not
not
for
buy
no.
drinks. Bring your own. Take a water bottle. So we learned from the first. We went and saw that on Friday night. Saturday night with the Hell's Kitchen. We took two water bottles, dumped them out, filled them up with bottles of wine, put them in her purse, and took them right in the joint. That's what you do, people.
$160?
Here's the
Yes,
real question: were the drinks good?
it was a Grey Goose and cranberry.
No,
come
no,
on,
no,
man.
no, no, no.
You
No.
can't
Was
you
it
can't
good?
screw that up. You know what I
Was
mean?
it good?
Freddie gonna say
It
it's
was a
worth it,
Grey
like
Goose
that
and
restaurant he
cranberry. It
told
was
us about
They
fine.
last
told
year.
you it was great. That could have been some military special shit.
Well, I watched them. Well, unless they doctored the bar, I saw them pour. But get this though, the wine. You know those Dixie cups, the little you get in when you go to the dentist, they tell you to rinse and they
Hmm.
give you the mouthwash, that little Dixie cup.
Hmm.
It was a little clear plastic cup about as big as a Dixie cup. That's how much wine it was. It wasn't even
Oh,
six
that's a
ounces.
violation,
It
man.
was not even 6 ounces, dude.
That's a violation. Met. I have. It's one thing if you tell me the Met is overcharging, but to Freddie's point, that better be a tumbler of a glass,
Yes.
and I'm looking for
Yes.
8 to 10 ounces in that thing, man. Come
Nah,
on.
it was a Dixie cup, a clear Dixie cup.
Mm, that's a bad
They,
beat,
they,
man.
they basically just gave you communion.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
How about you, Freddie? You got something to say today, man?
uh, you know, I, to follow, I don't, but to follow on to LB's point, I think I told Rusty this a while ago. I was actually out in El Paso, Texas, a few years ago at this wannabe. Anybody who's ever been to El Paso, Texas, um, they want to be Sadiddy, but they don't know how to be Sadiddy, right? And so, um, it was a Valentine's Day event meal or whatever at the restaurant. One, I don't like it. I didn't like it because, you forced me to eat off your Valentine's Day menu.
Right.
And I didn't like it.
Pre-made menus, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Limited.
you pretty much served me some old meat that you had since prior to Thanksgiving. And my thing is I go out, you know, I always, would you like a drink? Give me a Hennessy and Grand Marnier, right?
Hmm.
you know. And so they said, what type of Hennessy? I said, hey, it either has to be XO or VSOP, right? XO or VS. So they was like, well, we can't serve you both. We'll just bring you, two separate. All right, that's cool. They actually brought me regular Hennessy
Oh.
in, and you see the bottle. It's a Hennessy VSOP bottle, but they
Hmm.
just pour VS in it. Like I'm stupid. Like you don't know what's up. And so I'm taking, so they brought it out because there's two separate Grand Marnier,
Uh-huh.
the Hennessy, supposedly VSOP, in it. And I take a sip. I was like, yo, because I said, this is not Hennessy VSOP. Now,
Those that know, know.
Uh-huh.
or those that drink too much.
Those are the ones that know.
You know. And so I said, this is not Hennessy VSOP. You trying to jerk me because I guess it is. And he said, they even brought this is the bottle we poured out. Yes, that is the bottle that you poured it out of, but the contents is not VSOP. I said, I'm a connoisseur of Hennessy VSOP, of Hennessy of all levels. You're not getting to send it back. I don't want it. So, but that's, I guess, I follow on to LB's. I got something to say.
That's what you got to do, though, man. I mean, LB's case, I think you're straight up right. They know you at the Met. Nobody's looking at no cost about nothing.
Yep.
I do like the convenience fee. I would be okay with that. I'm
Mhm.
not okay with the total.
Right.
You
The
know,
$130 for two
yeah,
to three drinks.
no,
Yeah.
no,
And a shot
no,
of wine. Two
no,
drinks and a shot of wine.
no. I'm going out on a limb. That's got to be close to or more than the cost of the tickets for the damn play.
Well, I didn't buy them, fortunately, so I don't know.
Wow.
Oh,
So
so you were just paying your half, really? You were just really paying your half. You were just paying your half.
for a Dixie cup worth of wine. So anyway, that's all we got time for today. Thanks for rocking with us. Hope you guys, stay warm this weekend and enjoy the NFL Championship Sunday. And then we'll have, I guess, 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, so we'll have plenty of time to break that one down when the time comes. Until next week, we're out. Take care.